Okay, so today I'm going to be working on this wood burning stove. It's a fireplace insert. It's a Buck Stove brand. I actually inherited this from the property when I bought it. It was left under a pole barn, so it's got a lot of rust on it. And what I've got to do is, since I have it on this hand truck, because it's very heavy, extremely heavy, so I can move it in and out of my work shed. Since I've got it in this position, I'm going to go ahead and remove all the surface rust with a wire wheel attached to my drill. And I've done most of this area already, but my straps here that are holding it on to the hand cart are in the way. But I'm going to take off the back, the blower motor housing is here. And this cover that's on the back is pretty rusted up. I've already worked on it a little bit. Once I get this all cleaned off, the surface rust is off of this, inside and out, I'm going to prime it with a self-etching primer that can handle high heat, high temperatures. And I will bake this in the oven once I've painted it with a high temperature heat according to the paint instructions. Rust-Oleum makes a great paint for this, a high heat, a high temperature paint. Their top of the line can handle up to 2,000 degrees. Of course, this won't see that temperature. The wood burning stoves probably maybe 1,200 degrees. You can get them glowing red hot, but that's not recommended. You can start cracking your metal. But the whole key to properly taking care of a wood burning stove and resurfacing it or refinishing it is surface preparation. Getting the rust off, using a proper primer, and getting a good temperature, high temperature paint on it. But I will bake this at 250 degrees per Rust-Oleum's instructions to bake the paint onto this. Once I have the paint on here, I'll actually light up the stove and make sure that I cure that paint that's on this stove to at least 200 degrees, and that will ensure that the paint's durability is there. If I just spray paint it and leave it at that, it won't stay on when it reaches temperature. From here up, everything that you can see, the bulk of this fireplace insert is not going to be seen. This would all be inside a fireplace, in the hearth of the fireplace. So refinishing it is more for ensuring that the rust is taken care of, and also aesthetics, because I found this and it's all rusted up. I want to make it look pretty because I plan on selling it. So if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it right. I want to make sure that I get all the rust off, prime it with a proper primer, and paint it with the proper paint. If you have a different type of wood burning stove, maybe a freestanding stove that you want to use for decoration, you don't actually plan on putting a fire in it, then you don't really need to go through all the steps that I'm going to go through, other than surface preparation would ensure that the surface looks good. You also have a lot of color choices with just regular enamel. But if you're using just a regular enamel for decorative purposes, you don't need to worry about the high temperature paint, the high temperature paint that it can handle. So this is the beginning of the process. You'll see the front of the wood burning stove once I lay this thing down, which will be further on into the process. This thing weighs so much. I need to keep it in its portable position right now, and I'll work on the top, the bottom, and the sides, and get all that done. And then once that's done, then I'll spend the other part of my time on the front of the wood burning stove, where the doors are that you access for the fire. So hope to take you through this process step by step, and get this to Homestead Hub so they can post it for you to learn from. Thanks.